This video will walk you through how to apply paints and stains from the Master Blend range by Stock & Noble. This is for wood post and rail fences that have not been coated prior. If you're painting steel post and rail, head to our video on painting steel fences. Note, the advice given here is general in nature and doesn't take into account your specific situation. Required materials: appropriate PPE gear, water blaster 3000 psi, spray gun and a brush and/or a roller. Electric drill with mixing attachment, planer, possibly, water, towel or rag, pouring funnel. Note, in this video we're dressed fairly casually. If you're doing a big project you want a full set of overalls, otherwise you'll become a walking advertisement board for us by the end of the day. Water test. If you're painting treated pine and the timber is dry, you can skip straight to the preparation step. Note, watch our videos about letting your treated pine weather sufficiently. Note, if your timber is not sufficiently dry prior to coating, the moisture will force its way out, result in bubbling, peeling coatings. For hardwood clients, before doing anything, you will need to do a water test to see if your fence has weathered enough for the paint or stain to successfully bond. On a number of locations along the fence, pour a small teaspoon-sized pool of water on the posts and rails. Time how long it takes for the wood to absorb the moisture. If it takes more than 60 seconds for the water to be absorbed, it is too soon to apply a coating, as the tannins in the timber won't allow the water-based products to successfully bond. More sun, wind and rain will be needed to weather the timber and wash the tannin out. Preparation. This step is critical. We can supply you the best paint in the world, but if the preparation is poor, then you're wasting your time and money. All corners on rails and posts should be beveled. This is imperative to paints, as it significantly reduces the likelihood of the 90-degree corners splitting out after the paint being applied, resulting in peeling paint. Ideally do this step before installation of the fence. For new fences, ask your contractor to avoid backfilling the holes so you can easily paint below the ground level. Backfill once your fence is coated. For both new and existing fences, water blast the entire fence to remove all dirt, dust, grime, mold, old timber, etc. We recommend a 3000 psi blaster to make this step quick but effective. Leave to dry and you're good to go. Other points to note: do not apply paint in conditions under 10 degrees Celsius. The biggest enemy of paint is heat, both in and out of the pail. In summer, store your paint in a cool, shady spot. In winter, do not leave paint out in frosty, cold conditions before application. Store paint in room temperature 24 hours before application. Best practices for a successful painting project. Open the pail of paint and thoroughly stir using a mechanical mixer. This is important, especially given the extensive amount of products we've crammed into the Master Blend products. For instance, one of the heavier additives in the mix is the UV stabilizer, which will typically sink to the bottom of the pail and needs to be thoroughly mixed to ensure the mix is consistent. If you're applying using a spray gun, it is recommended pouring the paint through some fine mesh as shown. This will ensure no lumps or dried paint will make its way into the spray gun nozzle, causing blockages and downtime. If you find the paint is too thick for your gun, you can add up to 10% of water to all our products. Before painting with a spray gun, check the wind direction and speed. Don't underestimate how far overspray can travel. If in doubt, wait for a dead still day and keep vehicles etc. far away. Primer. For stain projects, you can skip straight to application as primer is not required. We recommend primer for clients using Forever Black or Forever White paint to gain maximum life from the paint. If you're using a cheaper paint, such as Classic Black, it may not be the best option for you as the primer will outlast the top coat, Classic Black. All our paints have pre-primer in them for the clients who choose to get the paint on with minimal downtime. However, our recommendation is always to prime for maximum longevity. Apply one thorough coat of primer to all surfaces that are going to be painted. Note, the primer coat should be thinner and consistent as compared to thick and excessive. Pay particular attention to the tops of the posts and rails, as this will cop the most severe treatment. We recommend working the primer into the timber with a brush as shown. Leave the primer to more than touch dry. 2 hours is a good rule of thumb, depending on the timber and the conditions. Ideally prime and top coat in the same day to avoid any moisture or dust settling on the fence between paint layers. Add the colour. Now this is where the whole neighbourhood has been waiting to see what colour you've chosen. So get ready for them to all applaud from the rooftops. For paints and stains, we recommend 2 coats. Note, the second coat will strengthen colour depth, so if you're doing some colour tests from our sample pots, we recommend doing 2 coats also. For paints, we're looking to build a solid, strong protective layer that can withstand the hottest of days and keep out moisture, such as raindrops and more regular dew, etc. For stains, it is different. It is hard to explain, but we're trying to achieve more like a thinner soaked-in film. We don't want to go too thick with the stains, as this can result in a flaking layer. For paints, expect like a satin finish, and the stains do add a slight sheen to the timber, which will reduce over time. For the darker colours, when you open the pail, you will likely notice almost like a blue hue. Do not worry about this. It is simply the colour of the glue in the paint, which become clear upon drying. It is worth noting that some of our products include a cribbing deterrent additive. You may notice a slight bitter taste developing in your mouth as you spray the paint on. Don't worry, this product is completely harmless for humans and animals. We have found the best product to get taste out of your mouth at the end of the day is a nice cold beer. Ensure that the prior coat is more than touch dry before recoating. Typically, 2 hours is sufficient. Some of the Masterblend products include an anti-mold additive. Note, if you pour out waste product on grass or plants, it will likely kill the growth in the area affected due to this additive. Like the primer, pay particular attention to the tops of the posts and rails, as this will cop the most severe treatment. Work the top coat into the timber with a brush for a thorough bond and solid layer. After painting, we recommend waiting 3 days before letting animals like horses, cattle and sheep back into the fenced area. This ensures the coating can firm up appropriately. Keep an eye on your fence in the years ahead. If a particular area does bubble or flake, it is worth stripping it back and dealing with the problem area before the moisture gets under the paint and spreads further, increasing the size of the repair job. Head to our FAQ videos for answers to all of your questions. Head to our website to find a stockist near you, or our online store if you want to order colour samples.